The fiver Lampard and the glazed expression of confused impotence at Everton. We'll be honest with you, the fiver went big on the struggles of Everton last week because we thought we'd get our trademark cheap digs in while the going was good. After all, they'd surely pick up 6 points from their matches in the Goodison Cauldron against Wolves and Newcastle, whereupon any notions of impending relegation would become fanciful and the chance to riff, bebop and scat on Frank Lampard's pain would be gone. The mental gymnastics we have to perform, readers? We go to these extra lengths just for you. You deserve it. Nil satis nisi optimum, right? However, as we watched the blood drain from Lampard's face yesterday afternoon, supporters segueing seamlessly from supportive cheering to booing to a crisp, clear snatch of "you're not fit to wear the shirt," we began to wonder if the unthinkable was starting to occur in plain sight in front of our very eyes. We've seen that glazed expression of confused impotence on Merseyside before: Mike Walker, Roy Hodgson, Jimmy Corkhill, and it rarely ends well. The miserable 1-0 defeat to Wolves means the Ev are now only out of the relegation places on goal difference, with rejuvenated 18th-placed Watford breathing down their necks, and the aforementioned Hodgson, merely by adding a pair of wire spectacles, now transformed into a windswept romantic with a vague similarity to late-era W.B. Yeats. A terrible beauty is born. Lampard, in one of those excruciating fronting-up post-match interviews, insisted that we have belief and that his team will keep fighting for it. That's the sort of tough talk that used to work so well at Pico's Chelsea, Claude Makelele, John Terry, all that, but doesn't land so firmly when you're relying on Dele Alli and Jared Branthwaite. Everton still have matches in hand on those around them at the bottom, but should they fail to pick up all 3 points later this week against a Newcastle team suddenly good enough to give the European and world champions a game, that might not count for too much because the rest of that run-in is testing, to say the very least. Time to forget about the league and concentrate on the cup? Hey, it didn't do Wigan any terminal damage. Join Scott Murray for minute-by-minute updates of Crystal Palace 1-2 Manchester City at 8 p.m. GMT. Obviously we understand their hate and their screams. We're all to blame, not one more than the other. PSG defender Presnel Kimpem on the jeers from home fans during the win against Bordeaux on Sunday, rather than the atmosphere in the dressing room after the defeat to Real Madrid. We think. Get your ears around Football Weekly here. I'm pleased to announce that I'm establishing a consortium to buy Chelsea. It will be myself, obviously, Emperor Palpatine, Ernst Stavro Blofeld and Cersei Lannister, who will also be in charge of PR and will accessorize her outfit with the club scarf on matchdays. I think we're in with a shot, as I'm pretty sure we'd be only the 3rd most objectionable club owners in the Premier League right now, Adam Onkemis. Knowing who is currently chief suit of Chelsea and reading the name of a potential buyer, there is potentially the best combination of buck and candy since a 1989 John Hughes film. What's the record for most consecutive questions asked at one of Tommy T's press conferences? Ed Taylor. The sad death of former Everton manager Gordon Lee reminds me of an anecdote about the time he met Malcolm MacDonald when he had just broken into the England squad. He asked Malcolm, with a name like MacDonald, "What on earth are you doing playing for England?" Supermac replied, "So how many games have you played for China, Gordon?" Alistair McGillivray Friday's fiver sniffily deemed no missive worthy of Letter o' the Day honors, when Keith Buchanan's witty U2-themed epistle really should have been the one. The award would surely have meant a beautiful day for Mr. Buchanan, for whom this must now be a case of far away, so close. The fiver does move in mysterious ways, lean calm in. Send your letters to the .boss@theguardian.com. And you can always tweet the fiver via @GuardianSport. Today's winner of our prizeless Letter o' the Day is Adam Onkemis. Ralph Rangnick has a just about fully fit Manchester United squad to choose from for their meeting with Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, but is concerned about tiny punctuation marks following one member of his squad. There is a small question mark, behind Luke Shaw, he fretted. Alex Telles could not be reached for comment. FIFA is the latest sports organization to review its relationship with the global sports concussion organization CISG. The total prize money pot for the Women's FA Cup next season will rise to £3 million. Barnsley's Budapest Baggio Callum Styles has been called up by Hungary for the first time. Stephen Davis, 62, is in line to win his 133rd cap for Northern Ireland after being named in the squad for friendlies against Callum Styles' Hungary and Luxembourg. Tommy T says he will be staying at Chelsea until at least the end of the season. There's no doubt, he sobbed. And Chelsea fans have been told to stop chanting Roman Abramovich's name by Downing Street. We recognize the strength of feeling around people's clubs, but that does not excuse behavior which is completely inappropriate at this time, the Prime Minister's spokesman sighed, and he should know. 10. Pearl Jam's second best album and coincidentally the number of talking points there were in the Premier League this weekend. Maryam Naz, Sarah Rendell and Sophie Downey round up the latest round of WSL games. Jacob Steinberg was at Stamford Bridge on Sunday and reports on a dark day for those who care for football's soul. Blessing's impact at Genoa cannot be disguised, writes Nikki Bandini, but wins must follow soon. There might be a Bundesliga title race after all, writes Andy Brassel. Boo. Adam White has the latest from Everton. And if it's your thing, you can follow Big website on Big social face and Institute too.